Cooking with Gloria. I'm Gloria, and today I am making for you old cloves. It's a Cuban dish that is very traditional and that I know that you and your family will love and will enjoy. The name of the plate is old cloves. In Spanish is Ropa Vieja. I know that you will love it and will enjoy it. But first things first, my apron is on, my hands are clean, and I am ready to show you my ingredients. Ingredients. I have rice, garlic powder, chicken bouillon, oregano, salt, garlic cloves, Baileys, plantain, cilantro, tomatoes, bell pepper, onion, and the chuck roast. I am so ready to start with this recipe. So let's get started. I am starting with my meat. I have the water already nice and hot. I'm adding the meat because it takes longer for the meat to cook. I have my table salt here. Remember that the salt is to taste. I have 3 garlic cloves and 2 Baileys that I am going to add. And I'm going to cover it and let it cook for at least 2 hours and a half. So I'll see you back in a little bit. This is the liquid that is where the meat was cooking. I'm going to reserve it. Please don't throw it away because we're going to use this broth when we are cooking our meat with all the veggies. So we're going to put it aside. I am going to start with my veggies. My veggies have been nice, washed, and cleaned. I'm going to start with my tomatoes. I'm going to start cutting them in little pieces, in slices. I'm going to do the same with both tomatoes. I'm going to put them aside and I'm going to continue with my onion. The same thing I'm going to do with my onion. I'm going to cut it in little slices. We want everything to be almost the same size. We want to pull apart all the onions so everything will incorporate perfectly when we start cooking it. I'm going to do the same thing with the other slice of onion. Let's slice it very nice. Okay, this is done. Let's make sure that we pull it apart, and then let's continue with our bell pepper. The bell pepper has been nice and cleaned, and I have deveined it and I took away the seeds. Now I'm ready to just slice it. We want everything to be sliced almost the same size. Look at this. Okay, I'm going to put it aside and I'm going to continue with my cilantro. The cilantro has been already washed and dried, and the cilantro I'm going to cut in very small little pieces so it will release all that flavor into our food. So look, tomato, onion, bell pepper, and our cilantro. Okay, I am so ready. I have my meat here. It's been resting for just a little bit. Nice and cooked, nice and tender. I'm going to start pulling it apart. Let me show you how I do it. Nicely pulled apart in little strings. This is how it's going to look. I'm going to continue shredding it, and then I'll show you when I'm done. I am done with this. Look at this. Okay, I am ready to start with my garlic cloves. I have 2 garlic cloves. I'm going to slice them and then cut them in very little pieces, just like this. Okay, this is nice and cut. I am ready to put in a little plate and I'm ready to go to the stove. I'll see you over there. My pan is nice and hot. It's the same pan where the meat was cooking. I'm adding 3 to 4 tablespoons of vegetable oil. And I am going to start by adding the onion and the bell pepper. We're going to add it. We're just going to mix it just a little bit. Nice and mixed. I'm going to add my garlic cloves. Remember that the garlic cloves, they can burn very easily. So we just want to incorporate it really nicely. And then we are going to add our tomatoes. Okay, we're going to add our tomatoes. We're going to mix it one more time to incorporate everything perfectly. And then I am ready to start by adding 1 can of tomato sauce. I'm going to add 1 can only. This is going to give it such a beautiful color. And at this moment, I'm going to add the broth, the meat broth. Remember, I told you to reserve it. We're going to add it. We're going to mix it completely. We want everything to be nice and incorporated. And at this moment, I'm going to add my spices. I have the garlic powder, the chicken bouillon, and I have my oregano. I'm going to put it in between my hands, and I'm just going to rub it so it's nice and finely right on the top. Just the same way I'm doing it. I'm going to mix it completely. We want to incorporate everything before we start adding our shredded meat. Let's taste it. Okay, perfect. This is really good. I'm going to add the meat, and we're going to incorporate it completely. I like to add the cilantro towards the end after everything has been nice and incorporated. Look at this. Okay, this is nice and incorporated. Now is the time to add the cilantro. I'm going to spread it all around the top. We want all the cilantro to be everywhere, and we're going to mix it one more time until everything is nice and incorporated. Okay, everything is nice and incorporated. I'm going to cover it. It's going to cook for 1 more hour and very low heat. I'll see you back. I am ready to start with my rice. I like to run my rice under cold water, and I want to run it until the water runs clear. We want to make sure that the rice is completely rinsed before we start cooking it. Okay, we're just going to take the excessive water off, and then we're ready to put it in our rice cooker. I have my rice cooker here. I'm going to add my 1 cup of rice. To 1 cup of rice, I'm going to add 2 cups of cold water, depending how much rice you add. And I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of butter. The butter has salt, so that's why I'm not adding additional salt. Okay, I am ready to turn it on, and it'll be ready in about 10 to 15 minutes. Right now it's cooking. Look at this. And now it's warm. That means that the rice has cooked completely. The rice is done. I wanted to show you from close-up how my Ropa Vieja looks. Look how delicious this looks. It's in medium-low heat, but this looks delicious. It's gonna be cooking for about 20 minutes. By that time, our white rice should be ready. So I'll see you back when this is ready, my friends. Look at this, all this juice, all this goodness. Okay, I'll see you back. I'm going to start with my plantain. I like to cut the sides and cut the center, but I don't want to go through the plantain, just through the skin. We're going to go ahead and peel it off really slowly so that the plantain is intact, just like this. And then after you have removed the skin completely, then we are ready to slice it. And I like to slice it about 1 inch or half an inch. We don't want it too thick. We want it nice and thin. Okay, I have finished cutting it, slicing it. I am ready to put it. But I want to show you how thick, what the thickness of the plantain is. I'm going to put it in my dish. Look at this, and this is done. I want to show you that my ropa vieja, it's already done. The meat is really nice and tender. And the liquids, just a little bit of liquid, not too much. What I'm going to do is turn it off, and I am ready to start with cooking my plantains. So I'll see you in a little bit. My pan is nice and hot. I am going to add 2 tablespoons of butter, and I'm going to start adding my slices of plantain. The butter gives the plantain such a delicious flavor. Okay, let's add the plantain. I have added my plantains in the butter. What I'm going to do is leave it in very low heat. This is gonna help the plantain to get nice and soft, but yet get nice and delicious, because the flavors of the sugar of the plantain and the flavor is really gonna stand out. You don't wanna put the plantain in high temperatures, because they'll get kind of rough and dry. And that's what we don't want. We want it nice and soft, nice and tender, and of course delicious. I'll come back and I'll show you when I'm going to flip them. I want to show you from close up how the plantains need to look. They need to be just a little bit brown, just slightly, and these are ready. I am so ready to start preparing my plate. Look at this, just a little bit. Okay, let me get ready, because I want to taste my delicious ropa vieja with my plantain. So I'll see you in a little bit. My friends, I am done with my Cuban food, my style, of course. This is the part I love, I enjoy, and I really look forward tasting my recipes. So let's see how this came out. It's nice and hot, okay? I hope I don't burn myself. Let's see how this ropa vieja came out. I wish you were here to taste it with me. Excuse me. The meat is so tender. The flavors are so concentrated, and the meat is just delicious. Nice and soft. Our rice, of course, delicious. Excuse me. Let's see how our plantain came out. Let's see. It's nice and soft. Let's see. Excuse me. The combination of the salty and the sugary, just perfection. This came out so delicious. The plantain is nice and soft and chewy, that I know that you guys are going to love it. If you liked and loved my Cuban recipe, because my kitchen is international, please don't forget to subscribe. Give me thumbs up. Share my video on social media so more people get to know Cooking with Gloria. Don't forget to push the notification bell so every time I make a new recipe, Yes, you are notified. I thank you so much for offering me your time, for watching my video from start to end. I really do appreciate it, because without you, Cooking with Gloria would not exist. Thank you. Before I say I see you soon, I wish you nothing but the best. Peace and love. And of course, I will stay enjoying my ropa vieja, my Cuban delicious recipe. Bye-bye.